Welcome, I'm David.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Desmonds Donders.
Port Erroll. The beach is covered in gulls, but they're not the only birds around. Port Erroll is the older part of the village of Cruden Bay in Aberdeenshire, on the northeast coast of Scotland. It runs inland from the small harbour and was originally a fishing community. The origins of Cruden Bay are associated with the building nearby of Slains Castle, on the base of an earlier tower house in 1597. Originally known as the Ward of Cruden, the present harbour was built between 1875 and 1880 and financed to the sum of £14,000 by the Earl of Erroll, and the area was renamed Port Erroll to commemorate this event. The harbour is currently used by a number of fishing vessels and a few leisure craft. It is a working harbour with commercial boats and leisure boats holding berths. The harbour was seen in place for many years and was originally a trust. In 1924 it was disposed by Sir John Ellerman to Port Erroll. It is now a corporate trust and a not-for-profit limited company with the potential of moving to a charity in the future. Port Erroll Harbour is one of the first concrete constructed harbours, and this means that when the outer concrete is breached by the sea, then erosion to the inner core occurs. This is a challenge faced in 2024 and beyond. Slains Castle, also known as New Slains Castle, to distinguish it from the nearby Old Slains Castle, is a ruined castle in Aberdeenshire, Scotland. It overlooks the North Sea from its cliff-top site 1 kilometre east of Cruden Bay. The core of the castle is a 16th century tower house built by the 9th Earl of Erroll. Significant reconstruction of the castle has been carried out a number of times, lastly in 1837, when it was rebuilt as a Scots baronial mansion. At one time it had 3 extensive gardens, but is now a roofless ruin. Plans to restore the castle have been on hold since 2009, and it is a Historic Environment Scotland Category B listed building. The castle is linked with the novels of Bram Stoker, including Dracula. New Slains Castle was the home of the Earl of Erroll, a hereditary title within the Hay family. The Hays had been a powerful dynasty in the area since the 14th century and owned large tracts of land in eastern Aberdeenshire, notably the parishes of Slains and Cruden. In 1453, Sir William Hay was made the first Earl by King James II. At this time, the local seat of power was Old Slains Castle near Colliston, some 8 kilometres southwest. The first building on the site of New Staines Castle was constructed for Francis Hay, the 9th Earl of Erroll, following the destruction of the original Slains Castle.
Hello and welcome to Slains Castle. We are parked in Port Erroll harbour at Cruden Bay. It is Monday the 22nd, 21st, no idea. I think it's the 22nd, and we're still travelling with Pamela, Gillian, Phil and us. So we have 2 cars, 1 camper van and 1 motorhome, and we're having great fun. And we decided to come and see Slains Castle. So I'll take you around, and please forgive me because I've never been here before. So this is all new to me. I believe there are 2 Slain Castles. This is New Slain Castle, and the old Slain Castle is on the other peninsula. So I'm not sure if it's this castle or the old one that is allegedly the reason for Dracula. I'm not sure, because I don't know these things. But this is not as bad a state as I was expecting. Sorry, steps. And it's actually quite incredible. Hello, puppy. Peek. I just love the fireplaces. Yeah, it is. It's just been bricked up.
Would you have one right next to the other?
That's the oven. This would be the kitchen. So that would have been one of the ovens, and that would have been another one. And that, you can see, is the first floor.
Alright.
So that would have been the, because you can see the joists to actually make the floor. And then you've got the chimney there and the tower. So the reason that the walls would have been warm was because they would have had the kitchens underneath, keeping the walls, well, trying to, but you can see how thick the walls are, so it'd have been bloody freezing in here.
But this lovely.
I know.
Isn't that pretty? Yeah, so those are all the bits.
Yeah, you could see where the joists went, so you could tell how many floors there are. No, they've been put in there to keep them safe, but you can see them there.
Yeah, yeah.
They're a lot thicker. But how much restoration work's been done on this?
Look at that little hole.
Oh, Poppy's gone up the steps. Poppy!
Come on, Bobby, come down. Come here. No falling.
Yeah, I know. But I always find that they must have had really small feet when they were doing it. Because I can't get my size 7 feet round them. But look, that is quite thick, a wall, if you look at the doorway. And yet these ones aren't, because these are internal ones, and that's obviously a fireplace as well, because they wouldn't do that. So you'd have to find plans of, or try and find someone that knows what was in here.
So do those steps, can you go up to the top?
You can go up, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Well, we're not really going.
Oh, come round. There we go.
Something too fresh, I like to walk around it actually.
Well, it's obviously in a state where you know, it's not going to fall on your head.
I wonder how much longer you'll be allowed to do this.
Well, when they close it off, then we'll know. But
Oh wow, look at that big slab. Where did that come from then?
probably the roof.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell this is the better part of the building because the stone's dressed. You see the curves? It's all dressed and tidier, which means that's obviously the large holes. And then you can see in here, if you look, the mantle, the fire mantle's better, but that could have been replaced to keep it there. You don't know how much restoration work's been done,
Yeah.
but then if you look there, look, see the arch?
Yeah.
That's been dressed, so that's obviously an entrance for the owners of the castle, not the servants, because they tend to make things fancier to prove how much money they had.
Hey.
What a view.
What view, eh? Oh, the two planes.
And that's obviously, is that the chapel? Because they have always had a chapel close to them because they wouldn't have wanted to go very far. And obviously to prove they had money, they would have their own private, you know, church, place of worship. You can see, look, that's all dressed. That's not, but then I think that's probably been replaced because some of it looks so out of sorts, especially as you've got orange brick and then you've got solid stone. Curious.
Yeah, the brick's not original, is it?
No, I don't think so. It could be, but they would have used the cheapest things to start it off and then dress it up as it goes up. Yeah, they would have actually made them, and then the people that were actually making them signed them so that they got paid for every one they made. You know, pennies.
What's this been?
I have no idea.
This.
I don't know.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cat flap.
That must have been a hell of a posh cat. I'm going to have to go round again and take pictures. Yeah, it is very big. See, there's a huge, great big fireplace there. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a big room.
that's a big room. But they don't normally have the, you know, the greeting halls and whatever they call them on the first floor. And there's no way they could have gone any further down because there isn't anywhere to go. See, there's a dressed bit of stone with a hole in it. So Would that have been up there somewhere?
Not a toilet thing.
No, because all they did was trebuchets.
It could be a toilet.
No, the trebuchets would have been on the corner or the side of the thing, and there'd be a sloping hole, and they'd just shit in it, and then the shit would slide out the hole. That's why they're called trebuchets.
Steps going up there, aren't they?
Yep.
No, but it would make a good one though.
Oh. Well, I know there's some wreck castles that the people use as a toilet.
Yeah.
Especially on the NC 500. Wow. That is some size of a castle.
So,
I would love to have seen it when it was intact.
and I know me. So, do you think is this an older part? This is more ruin.
Yeah,
than the
it
book?
could have been, and then they just added to it because they
Yeah.
do that. Whoever took over would add to it to make it look posher, because that's what they did at Huntly. And then they had to hide all the signs of Catholicism, so they didn't end up in the jail. Wow, that must have been.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah, it is. You know, it is probably the stables.
Do you think?
Yeah, could have been. I mean, the people with stately houses always used to build the lodge houses, and they used to spend as much money on the lodge houses as they did on the main house to show how much money they had. If you look round big houses now and you can find the lodges, look at them, because some of them are incredible. We've
Do you
got
think you
4.
can find this like on the internet, like
Yeah,
plan to see
what it actually looked like. Yeah,
and,
you should.
and what the rooms are like.
Yeah, you could have done.
I'll have a wee look. Now that I've seen it.
See, you look, there's like the ones you were sitting on, so. Phil said be careful because don't go too close to the edge, because it's a sheer drop. Right, I'm going to switch you off a minute. You could spend hours looking around here and still not see everything. It's like the outside walls are all bigger stones and dressed, and the inside walls are red brick. So I should imagine the big stones came first, and to save money they used the red brick on the inside where you couldn't see as much. I'm really not very sure. I'm not a historian, and what I know is probably not completely enough. But it's definitely a castle of 3 parts. I think they've started off with a small building, and then as time's gone on and they've come into money or whatever, they've built more, as they do. But there's so much different coloured stonework, different designs, and it's basically a hodgepodge of everything. It's got like that there, and then that there. It's just a conundrum. Well, for me, I'm sure somebody can make sense of it, but I'm not an historian. But it is wonderful. Why it's built like this, I've got no idea. How many master builders did they go through? Right, there you go. Is she greedy like a beagle?
Does she what, sorry?
Is she greedy, you know?
Well, she wasn't.
It's amazing who you bump into when you're on a trip. Here's Rick and Heather from Rick and Heather Campervanners. And here, drinking the gin, is Gillian. But, to quote Gillian, she doesn't like gin. I won't tell you how many that was. Thank you for watching Desmonds Donders. And whatever you're doing in the countryside, please take nothing but memories and leave nothing but tracks. Please subscribe and ring that bell to be notified of our future videos.